Hello, so in this section, we are discussing the mode, and the mode is the value or data entry X that repeats the most. And I'm not sure it is. So we're going to look at the first example, and sometimes you might want to actually put them in order, but you really are just trying to see what entries repeat and how often. But if I put it in order, I have 42, then I have 85. I have several hundreds. I have 110. 103 is the next one. Then I have 110, 118. And then after that is 724, 749. The next one is 10, 16, 1166, and 1928. And even when I put them in order, I see that none of the entries repeat, so there is no mode. Now, the next one, the numbers of touchdowns scored by high school football team in each of the last 15 seasons are recorded. Find the modes, enter the modes from least to greatest. Okay, so I'm gonna order them again. So I see, I think the lowest one is 50. So I have 50, and I have 50 once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. Okay, then the next one will be, actually 46 was first. And it appears only once. So then after 50, 53. And that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I see an extra 50 here that I didn't count to the 6. And then we have 56 twice. So really, 50 and 53 repeat the most, and they repeat the same number of times. They repeat 6 times. So then the modes are 50 if I go from the smallest one, and 56 if I go with the largest. When there are two modes, we say the data is bimodal, because it has two different values that repeat the same number of times. You have two modes, 50 and 56. Now, in this example, it says the number of freshmen and the number of seniors in 10 different high schools are recorded below. Find and compare the modes of these two groups of data. So you have the list of freshmen in the 10 high schools and the list of seniors in the 10 high schools. And I see a highest value for each. I think this is 488, and here is actually 632. This question is a trick question because since the high schools are not, you really need to have the high schools to figure out if that's really the mode. Like I would have to know, is this the value for high school A? And is this also the value from high school A? So we really can find the mode on this one. There's really not enough information. We know there is a highest value, but we don't know by by the way the data is given, we don't really know which value, which high school will really be the mode for one or the other. So that was really a trick question. Okay, so let's look at the next one. So the next one says the data shown is the total compensations in millions of dollars for the top 50 for the 50 top paid actors from the past decade, and it find the mode. Now, there is enough data here that I think it might not be a bad idea to enter the data on the calculator. Now, you don't have to. I mean, you can find the smallest and the largest one and start counting how many times they repeat. But I find it kind of helpful to do that. So I always like to take a picture of this so I don't have to be going back and forth. Um, from this to the calculator. So I'm going to go to the calculator. I'm going to go to Stat, Edit. I'm going to clear the list, clear and enter. And then I'm going to enter, and I don't have a preference. I can go ahead and enter the columns. So I have 16.8. I'm going to enter those. In the calculator, so I have 16.8. Press enter. Then I have 38.5, 17, 31.5, 18.4, 26.1, 19.8, 25.6, 20.1, 24.4. Okay, and I'm just gonna double check, make sure I entered that right. 1.6, 19, 26.1, 19.1, 31.5, 17, 38, and 6.8. So that's the first column. So now I'm going to start with the next column. So that will be 47.4, 16.6, 35.3, 17.6, 29.3, 19.7, 25.9, 20.8, 24.5, 22.7, and I'm gonna double check. That's the second column. So 22.7, 24.5, 20.8, 25.9, 19, 29.3, 17.6, 35.3, and 16. Okay, so now the third column. So that will be 16.5, 37.6, 17, 31.5, 18.4, 25.8, 19.5, 25, 21.5, 24.4. Okay, and I'm gonna double check. Okay, so fourth column, 41.9, 17.7, 35.9, 17.5, 28.8, 19.7, 25.6, 20.6, 24.6. Oh, let me clear that. Okay, so 25.6, so I have 20.6, 24.6, 23.3. Okay, and then I'm gonna double check again. Okay, so the last column, 16.6, 36.3, 17.2, 31.4, 18.8, 25.7, 19.6, 25.2, 21.4, and 23.6. And this data doesn't have to be in order in general. We're just gonna we're trying to get the tally of it, but it's gonna help us to order it so we can see how often as data, how many times a data entry actually repeats. Let me just finish double checking here. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to stat and sort. So that's choice number 2. We tell the calculator is L1, so it's second and 1. Close the parentheses, press enter, and it's done. We go back here. So we see 16.6 repeats twice, 17 twice, 18.4 twice, 19.7 twice, 24.4 twice, 25.6 twice. So there are several that are twice. I haven't seen 3 times. 31.5 repeats twice. So twice is the most a certain entry repeats. And then when we look back, this was actually multiple choice, so we have to make sure we pick the correct one. So when I look at this on the calculator, if I go to the top, it does have 16.6. So it has to be A or C. Then the next one is 17, 18.4, 19.7, 24.4, 26.6. So the only difference in A and C is 35.9 and 31.5. So let's look. I'm gonna actually go to the bottom, and I notice that 31.5 repeats, not the 35 point something. So when I look back, it should be C. It should be this one. They all repeat twice. So sometimes it's really up to you, but we are kind of telling how often, you know, an entry repeats. Basically, we're looking for the frequency. And so the frequency here is 2 for all of those, so they're all the mode. All of them are the mode. And there wasn't an entry that repeated 3 times, so this was really the most an entry repeated. Now, here's another one. Again, it's up to you if you want to enter the data or keep track of what repeats what. It's really up to you. If we want to do it by hand, I'm going to organize it here on the side. And I'm not going to worry too much about the order. So I'm going to take 206 and I see it once. I'm just going to put 270 and I have it once, twice. Then 337, see it once. 317, once. 240, once. 360, once. 310, it's getting too close. Then 340, once. 310 repeats. 280, once. 260, once. So it would be helpful if they were in order. But if we're doing it this way, then 250, it once. 427, it once. 280 repeats. 446. I didn't have it yet. So 378. 317 repeats. 290 and 317 repeats. The next one, 325. 270, and I have it here. 380. 290. 337. Okay, I see it here. And 288. 323, 310, 260, 310, 350, 250, then I have 350, 337, don't see it. 361, 337, again, 370, I don't see it in here. Oh, you know what? I see 337 already here. So that means it's two more here. So, 370 is the one that I was starting with. 370 is one. 340 is here. 300 and 290. 410. I'm gonna erase this one. 337. 350. 352. I don't think I have 352. 317. Right here. 280. 370. 298. Then I have 309. 285. 269. 360. 290. 410. 400. I don't think I have 400. And 350. Yes. 370. 337. I don't see it. Well, 358, that's a new one. Okay, let's see. Let me double check. I don't have 358. Doesn't sound familiar. And then 280. 337, I have one again. 241 sounds new. 285 sounds also new. 310. 317. 280. 300. 300 is a new one. Oh no, it's right here. 340 sounds like a new one. No, it's right here. Then I have 277 and 270. And I'm already in trouble because according to my count, there are 3 numbers that have a 5. So that means the mode 4 would be repeated, which is not impossible, but they would have given you more spaces in here. So I think I would prefer to put in the data into the calculator to do this. Because I did my best, but it was still hard to. And it's time consuming to put it into the calculator. But once you put it into the calculator, it will put it in order and you can count that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture of this. And then I have to do it twice for player A and player B. So I definitely would rather do it on the calculator. So we go to L1. To the top, we clear and enter. And then we start entering the data from player 2. And I'm going to do it by row. So I have 206, 270, 270, 337, 317, 240, 360, 310, 340, 310, 280, 260, okay, 4th row, so that will be 250, 427, 280, 446, next row, 378, 317, 290, 317, then 325, 270, 380, 290. The next one is 337, 288, 323, 310. Next one, 260, 310, 350, 250. Next one, 350, 337, 361, and we'll go back. 337, 370, 340, 300, 290, 410, next one is 309, 285, 369, 360. Next one, 390, 410, 400, 350, 370, 337, 358, 280. Next one, 337, 241, 285, 310, almost there, 317, 280, 300, 340, 277, and 270. Press enter. Okay, so I'm gonna sort them. So stat, sort, second and one for L1, close parentheses, press enter, and go back and edit. So I have 250, and remember I had counted 5 for some of them. So let's see, 270 is 4 times. 280 is 5 times. So far 280. I'm looking for something that repeats more than 5 times. Now, 310 also repeats 5 times. 317 repeats 5 times. And there it is, 337. I think it's going to be the winner because it repeats 7 times. So let's keep going and see. Looking for something that repeats more than 7 times. That's it. So then that means the mode is 337. And that is for A. So I wanted to show you, and I honestly try to put it in, to actually do the tally by hand, and I was getting it wrong. It's not easy to keep the tally with so many. So it really probably will be better um, to enter the data on the calculator carefully, then the calculator sorts it for you, and then you're able to decide what is the mode and what is the highest. So I'll let you work on B, the data for B, and see what the mode is. So again, good luck with section 2.7.